Okay, so this was your homework. If you didn't do it, it's fine. Then you just follow as we go along.
Can I write it down?
Yes. But you've got to be quick. And remember, I am recording everything, so I'm not going to wait too long on a slide if there's still people copying, okay? Because I have to finish everything. Right. So, 24.7. Okay. At number 2A, it says complete these statements by filling in the missing words. Did I post that picture on the group?
Ma'am, there's many pictures in the group.
I think I posted. Did I post?
Yes, ma'am, you did.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So basically, that was the explanation in a nutshell. Okay, not there anymore, but in any case. Number 2A says complete these statements by filling in the missing words. If the dimensions of a rectangle are increased in the ratio 1 to 5. Now stop there. What does 1 to 5 mean? The one is 5 times bigger than the other, right? That 1 to 5, it's a ratio of 1 to 5, meaning if this is 1, 5 times that would be the other one. Okay, do you guys understand? Right, now it says, then the perimeter of the rectangle increases by a factor of 5. Okay, so that's where I get this first 5 from. We said whenever we are getting the new triangle, the reduced or enlarged triangle, we are going to multiply when it's enlargement. We are going to divide when it's reduction. And you multiply or divide with the scale factor. Now, in this case, the scale factor was that 5, meaning how many times is it getting bigger or smaller. Then, the same would be for perimeter.
Ma'am, so if it's 1 to 5, for example, if it's 1 block, like for example, triangle,
Yeah.
then if you enlarge it, then it'll be 5 blocks. So 1 is
5 blocks, 5 blocks.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. It is in the test, but I've seen the paper, so you don't have to stress too much about it. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Then, then the perimeter of the rectangle increases by a factor of 5. No? Okay. And the area of the rectangle increases not just by 5. Increases by a factor of 5, not just 5. Because it's area, we said we have to say 5 squared. Okay. So you could have said 5 squared, or you could have said 25, because that's the same as 5 squared. Good. Right, then let's see. A rectangle has dimensions of 36 times 9. Now, I drew it over here. People, this was a pretty difficult question. Okay, so have a look. 36 by 9 meters. Okay, now they're also saying if the area, this triangle's area was reduced, meaning it gets smaller, to 36 meters squared after the sides are reduced in the same ratio as each other, the new dimensions will be what? Now, at this stage, you don't have that 12 and the 3. We're going to work that out. So the first thing that I did is I have got the sides here, but I haven't got the sides there. I've got the area here. No, I'm lying. I haven't got the area there, but I've got the area here. So what I want to do is I first want to get the area of this triangle so that I can figure out what the scale factor is. So how do we work out the area of that triangle? We're going to say length times breadth. Now the length was 36 and the breadth was 9. Okay, so that gave me an area of 324. So you'll see I wrote that inside the rectangle. Okay? Okay, so now I've got the area of the enlarged and the area of the reduced triangle. Okay? So I can divide those two. to tell me what the scale factor would be. But the trick here is because it's area, it would be scale factor squared would be equal to the 324 divided by the 36. That's going to give me 9, but that's not your scale factor. Because it was area, it's actually scale factor squared is giving me 9. So to get just the scale factor, I said I'm going to get square root of 9, which means that the scale factor would be 3. Are you guys fine with that? Okay, so now that I know the scale factor, I must actually go get these sides. Now, because that side, the length is 36, I'm going to say length will be 36, and I've got to get the reduced shape. So I'm going to say divide by the scale factor of 3, and that gave me 12. Are you guys fine with that? So now I know the reduced length would be 12. Okay, my breadth or width was 9. I've got to get the reduced width. So I'm going to say breadth would be 9 divided by the scale factor of 3, which means that it's actually 3 meters. And now you can see 12 times 3 actually does give me 36 meters squared, right? You guys fine with that? Okay. Any questions? This was a very difficult one. We won't give it to you like... No. No, it won't be that difficult, no.
Well, they basically just ask you to enlarge it and reduce it on a...
Yeah.
They're not going to ask you to basically calculate it, so to enlarge it.
It's going to be more like the ones that we're going to do after this. Okay. Any other questions here? Can I skip? Okay. Number 4 says the area of rectangle ABC. I'm going to do it like this. Area of rectangle ABCD to the area of rectangle new AB, C, and D will be 36 to 1. Meaning rectangle ABCD is 36 times bigger than that new rectangle ABCD, right? Okay, but the important part here is that this is area. They're talking about area. So could this be my scale factor? No. It must be something squared is going to give me that 36. So 6 squared would be 36, no? Which means that my scale factor here is actually 6. Does that make sense? So that's the only tricky part here. You've got to remember when it's area, you always got to think of the scale factor will be squared, and then I'd get that number. Okay, so at 4a, they're asking me, state whether this new triangle is an enlargement or a reduction. Have a look. I'm going from a very big number to a very small number. So what would it be? A reduction. Yes?
For the previous one, when we did the scale factor as well,
Yeah?
when we calculated, we said 324 divided by 36 equals 9.
Yeah.
Is that obviously the 90 squared?
No, it's a number squared gives me that 9.
Okay, but then we still have to do the square root.
That's why I did square root, to know that it would be 3 squared actually gives me that 9.
But then that shouldn't...
Yeah, so you could have written your square root of 36. Yeah. Okay. Yeah? Then it would be 1, 2, 36. Yeah. Okay. Right. Then at B it says, is the enlargement or reduction in proportional? State the ratio of, if the enlargement or reduction is proportional. State the ratio of AB to the new AB. Okay? Now, AB, they're actually talking about a side of that rectangle, right? Okay, so that AB would be from this one, so that would be 6, and the new AB would be from that rectangle, so that would be 1. Do you guys understand? 6 to 1. Okay. Sorry? How do you? It's from here.
So you basically,
Remember, it was a big rectangle
yes, ma'am.
and then it was a small rectangle.
So you're working on a small rectangle.
So they're asking, let's say this was A, B, C, D, and then that will be new A, new B, new C, new D. So they're asking, what will A be to new AB be? So this will be 6 times and 1 time.
So
So this is 6 times longer than that one.
we work with the basically with 4A with the
Yeah.
use that
Yeah.
to answer.
Yes, the whole of question 4 is about these two rectangles.
Okay. So maybe you can't say the 36 to 1. You have to say the 6.
No, 6 to 1. Yes. It was only 36 because over here we were working with area. Okay. Right.
So will they always give us when we work with you work with the whole thing to answer the whole thing?
Yeah? Yeah. Okay. Then C. State the perimeter of ABCD to the perimeter of new ABCD. Now, when we talk about perimeter, is my scale factor going to be the same or would it be scale factor squared? What would it be? Just the scale factor. No. Okay. So the perimeter of ABCD will be 6 to the perimeter of the new ABC, again, just 1. So they're testing whether you know that at perimeter it doesn't change, at the sides it doesn't change, but at area it must be scale factor squared. Okay.
So they're just checking.
Yeah.
They're checking if you know that there must be a square.
You guys good with that? Okay, now we go to number 5. Can I skip? Okay, so number 5 says, number 5 says, use the shapes in the figure to answer the questions that follow. Name 2 pairs of shapes that are reflections of each other in the x-axis. Now, when we reflect in the x-axis, that's the horizontal line. So we flip or reflect it up or down, right? Okay, now you will see that A and O was reflections of each other. C and P were also reflection. Okay, in the x-axis. Then at B, which shapes are reflected in the y-axis? Now that was only D to E. Any questions there? Right, anything else? Okay, then at D, they're saying, state the coordinates of shapes H and K, and then fully state the transformation that has occurred from H to K. Okay, so over here I wrote down the coordinates of H. Let me write down the coordinates of K. That was X is 5 and Y is minus 1. And 4 minus 2 and 7 minus 1. Okay, so let's have a look. Look at what happened. It went from 10 to 5. So what do you think? Divide by 2. Okay, let's just double check. Minus 2. If I divide that by 2, it's going to give me minus 1. Okay, so it looks like it could be 2 times smaller. No. Okay, but check the others as well. X value is 8, X value is 4. Is it divided by 2? Yes. And the Y value is minus 4 divided by 2. It does give me minus 2. So do you guys agree? They're asking me, state the transformation that has occurred from H to K. Okay, so, oopsie, not that, sorry. If I were to go from H to K. H was actually 2 times bigger than K. Do you guys agree? So therefore, what was it? From H to K, was it reduction or enlargement? Reduction. Is it T? Oh, kyk nou maar, is it a T after that? Ek dink nou aan reduksie. Okay, reduction with scale factor of 2. Good. Okay, any questions there? All right, then E, can I skip? Okay, at E, state the coordinates of shapes L and M and then fully state the transformation that has occurred from L to M. Okay, so L, the coordinates, nou soek ek gou vir L. Okay, have a look at that top corner is where X is 0 and Y is 1. Then X is minus 2 and Y is 0. X is 0 and Y is minus 5. And X is 2 and Y is 0. Okay? And then we want to go to M. Is M the blue one, eh? Okay, so X is 0 and Y is 2. X is 1, 2, 3, 4. No. Then X is 0 and Y is minus 10. And X is 4 and Y is 0. Okay, so what do you guys see? We're going from, look at the X values, 0 and 0. So I can't really see anything from there. And then I go from 1 to 2. So it could be times 2. Let's double check. Minus 2 times 2, it does give me minus 4. 0 times 2 still gives me 0. 0 times 2 still gives me 0. Minus 5 times 2 gives me minus 10. So do you guys see that it is 2 times bigger? Okay. So if I were to go and say L to M, it would be 1, 2, 2. So therefore, an enlargement with scale factor 2. Any questions? It isn't, eh? Okay, now the last one here. F. They're asking me name 2 pairs of similar shapes that are not congruent. Now let's talk about similar and congruent. We said that whenever we do, and that I think we spoke about yesterday, so I'm just repeating again. Whenever we do translations, meaning it's moving up, down, left, right, is it congruent or similar then? Congruent. It's exactly the same thing. No. Okay, it's like copy paste. Okay, so translation does not give me similar triangles.
No, so congruent stays the same.
Congruent is exactly the same thing. It's like copy paste.
It's
Yes.
enlargement.
Yes. When we reflect in the x-axis or in the y-axis, do we then have similar or congruent shapes? Congruent, because it's exactly the same thing. It's just put in a different place. No? Still copy paste. Okay, but when we do reductions or enlargements, then it's not congruent anymore because it gets larger or smaller. No? So then we only have similar shapes. So the question says, name 2 pairs of similar shapes that are not congruent. Okay, so we just did 2 that were in, the one was an enlargement and the other one was a reduction. Okay, so L and M, they would be similar. And what was the other two? H and K. Yeah. Yeah, you could. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions here? All right. That is then it, people. The bell is almost going to ring, but that's the same. Yeah. But remember, this is your last day.
I'm just asking if it's the same.
Grade 8, do you guys have the times, listen, for the exam, when we're writing exam? Okay, I'll have to crop that picture a bit, but then I'll send it to you. Then you'll know more or less what time you start when you write a 1 hour paper or when you write a 2 hour paper. Okay. So that is then it. I posted on the group a few papers for you guys to work out as revision. Okay. So please work through those. If you see something we didn't do, then obviously it's because of COVID. It was a chapter that was left out. Okay. So don't stress. If you see something that's not familiar to you, if you may be doubting whether we did it, just ask. No, you all have my number. And then good luck with all the studying.
Thank you, ma'am.
No, I hope it goes well. Ja. Huh? Oh, siehst doch. Julle was my